I am Rahul and today I am presenting on GDP. GDP, GDP is one of the economic terms that is used beyond economic classrooms or economic chambers, like during daily debates or although rarely on TV news channels. So if any one of us in future attends such a daily discussion or a TV debate, and as we are economic students, it will be useful for them to know about this term. So let's move with the definition. GDP or gross domestic product is the monetary value of all the finished goods and services produced within the boundaries of a country during a specific time. There are three terms in these definitions which I have underlined, and I would like to explain them in a very brief manner so you can understand the definition itself properly. So first we will go to monetary value. Why do we take the monetary value of all the goods? Why can't we just take their respective quantitative measurements? Let me ask you this. Can you add a 100 kilos of potatoes with 150 kilos of flour and 1,000 liters of oil? Well, talking physically, you can, especially अगर आपको पकौड़े बनाने, but mathematically it is impossible because these are different units and different things. What money does, it plays the role of a single unit, which helps us to add the value of all these products. That's why we use it in GDP. Why do we count only the finished goods? The GDP, if in the GDP, if all the market transactions were counted separately, for example, in the case of the production of a car tire, we would first count the production of tire when it is produced by the respective company which produces it, and then again when it is used in the production of a car. If we scale this up to a national level, we would end up grossly overestimating the GDP. That's why we always count the finished goods in GDP. I will look at this graph. This graph gives us an incomplete image. It is telling us that the Indian GDP is just about to overtake the US GDP. But this image is incomplete. How? The graph does not show the times of data collection. The GDP of USA is from 1980s, while the GDP of India is from 2018. This is true for not only data on GDP, but also most of other data, that they are incomplete without the given time frame or can be used to mislead. So always look for the date of collection while studying a data. Moving on. Then we have how important is GDP. GDP signifies the size of a nation's economy. The bigger the economy is, the more people it can support, and the better it can support the people. Meaning GDP has a direct relation to employment and quality of life in a nation. So it is a very important number. However, it might hide some things, but it usually gives us a general idea of growth and even political scenarios in that country. The current status of our GDP. So when the imagine the current status of our GDP. Imagine that you are climbing a staircase and suddenly an earthquake hits. So to avoid injury, what you do is start climbing downwards. Now you might not avoid an injury completely, but you will reduce the magnitude of it. That is what happened in our country. We saw the pandemic coming. We applied a stringent lockdown so we don't lose many lives, but we might lose our economy. That is why our GDP has fallen at such a steep rate. So then, if that's a condition, how is recovery happening? Well, if we look at these indicators, the first graph that I'm showing you is of e-way bills. This measures the logistics of in a state or inside a state or of the whole country. You have if you are transporting some goods from one place to another in a country, you will have to get a e-way bill from the respective state. So these bills are generated by those people who are transporting goods from here to there. After a steep fall, we see they are back again, risen to the near normal level. So we see a full V-shaped recovery here. And the next graph, figure 14, is of core industries performance. these are industries of coal, fertilizers, and other important industries. These have also, after fall, have risen to almost to their normal levels. And after that, we have the PMI manufacturing production managers index, which is a combined index of output, employment, some other important factors. This has also, after a fall, back again in expansion zone, which is signified above the black line. So if everything is going well and fine in the production sectors and everything else, then what is it that is holding back the economy? It is the consumer's confidence. It does not matter how much or how an economy is producing unless there is somebody to buy it. That's why the consumer confidence was holding back the whole economy. So what can be done? Many people are discussing the stimulus tax as an option, but they are not. Why? Stimulus checks would be useful to help people survive, and they have already been given to people who need to survive, but they won't bring back our consumers' confidence. As consumers' confidence is maintained by a stability in income that cannot be pushed by a stimulus tax unless they are regular and in huge amounts. That's what the Western countries are doing, by the way. So, but our government cannot provide this today. So stimulus checks are out of option totally. Therefore, collateral fee loans that are being provided right now are our best bet. Why? Because when we provide an company with some money, then they will be able to pay their employees. Then this money will reach their employees who are the consumers. Now, as you can see, the money has reached the consumers as it would in stimulus checks only a bit slowly. So what we are doing today is, as we cannot afford a fast acting injection, we are using an affordable and effective medicine to counter this negative growth. And the other thing that is holding the consumer confidence is the coronavirus spread rate. As the spread rate rises, we might not be able to eradicate the virus in the near future. But with those recovery rates, if they rise even if a little bit, we might be able to eradicate the fear of the virus, again boosting the consumer's confidence. I would like to conclude by saying that the way for an recovery, a quick V-shaped recovery is still open for our country. If things go just fine, by a margin, we will see a recovery in the coming days. That's all. Thank you very much.